futures at heavyweight, and a lot of people have talked about a fight with you and Cain Velasquez as it would be one of the great fights of all time. But I heard you said on TV something about fighting at middleweight, and I don't know, obviously I didn't hear what you said, but can you tell us what you said and what your thoughts would be on taking on Velasquez at heavyweight, and then, if you can just elaborate on what you meant by making 185.
To be honest, I would fight Cain Velasquez in a heartbeat. I really would. I would love to fight AKA's best athletes, and I believe I could defeat them all. I believe that our team is the best team in the world. With that being said, my maturity has allowed me to make weight a lot easier. This camp, around being 3 weeks outside of the camp, I started having to eat more and forcing myself to eat more to keep my weight up. I was losing weight too fast, and that's a testament to hard work, focus, discipline. So fighting at heavyweight would be surely to entertain the fans, and it would have to be against the perfect opponent. Making 205 is not a challenge for me at all. It hasn't been a challenge for me. For a long time, I've been criticized for being too big for my weight class, and I think it's an excuse of people who don't understand my success. I'm not too big for light heavyweight division. I'm built the way I'm built. I have very skinny legs, but I make weight just fine. So I am a true light heavyweight. I will be a light heavyweight for a long time, and yeah.
Thank you. And Dan, if I could just ask you, everybody was talking to you about the difficulty of getting past Jon's kicks and being able to get inside. Had you known you would have been inside so much of the fight, could you have understood this outcome coming this way if you had known that you would have spent so much of the fight clinched up with him and close to him?
Well, I mean, that was my intent, was to be close. It was, I think we make a lot of, we talk a lot about reach and stuff, and even on the outside, we were kind of trading jabs and stuff, so it wasn't as big a deal. I think it's more his tactics and everything, He has a way of making himself feel actually bigger inside of the cage. It's not his height or anything, it's his abilities that makes him hard to deal with, but it was my intent to get close, so I prepared for it. If anything, I didn't feel like he was going to be able to wear on me as he did, and that's what he did his most success, I guess.
Jon, there was so much focus about the talk that you guys had previously about you saying that you bet you could take him down. Do you think people and perhaps even judges were watching whether you could take him down, and when you did, do you feel that kind of, especially doing it multiple times, sealed the win for you tonight?
I think a lot of times I visualize the fight. I played it in my head so many times, and it went different ways every time I looked at the fight mentally. And I came up with the conclusion that me getting the first takedown would set the tone. I believe that Daniel, through all of his interviews, he really put a lot of eggs in the basket of being able to take me down. And like I said, not being afraid of death, right? When you're not afraid of it, it has no power over you, and it allows you to, go to war the way you need to go to war. And that's the way I learned to look at his takedown. It's like, okay, Daniel wants to take me down. Now what? Once you get me down, I told people, I said, he's probably going to get me down. But then what are you going to do? I started to really have a lot of pride in my jiu-jitsu, and I believed if I got taken down tonight, I was going to be able to display what I have off of my back. So yeah, it feels good to be able to take him down, and to be able to hold him against the cage the way I did. And, I'm sure a lot of the fans won't find that entertaining. But my job is not necessarily to make the fans go woo and wow. My job is to win the fight, no matter how ugly or whatever tactic I had to use. Let's remember, Randy Couture, one of the greatest of all times, that was his whole game, holding guys against the cage. And that's what I did tonight. I'm not apologetic for it, and came out with the win.
And in regard to the 2015 schedule, you clearly have another fight coming with the Gustafsson and the January.
I would say that's disrespectful to Anthony Johnson to say that I have a fight against Gustafsson.
No, and Johnson. But after that fight, would you then make the decision on heavyweight?
No, I really don't even want to talk about heavyweight anymore. I'm making weight pretty good at light heavyweight. And when I do go heavyweight, it'll be something me and Dana talks about. And we will have the right opponent, and it'll be for the right purse.
John, at the close of the fight, obviously there was kind of an intense little exchange between you guys. You stopped early to celebrate, and then I think threw a punch when Daniel kind of led up to, and then I think Daniel actually threw a punch maybe after the bell. Just what was going through your head right there? I mean, kind of walk us through what you were thinking as that unfolded.
Well, I put my hands up, and I was surprised that Daniel didn't attack me because we had more time in the fight. Once I realized that he let his guard down, I snuck in 2 punches before the bell rang. After the bell rang, he snuck in a few punches. I don't think any of them hit me. He almost hit Herb Dean. And that's why I gave him the second sign, because he tried to hit me after the bell.